Well, let's see. If I'm being heard, let me know. I've got it streaming. Hello, John. Hello, Darren. Yeah, guy looked just like me. Man, that's scary. That is absolutely scary. Okay, so I can be heard. That's good because the Yeti's still unplugged, which means it's coming from one of the cameras that are in front of me, either the left or the one that's straight ahead. Let's jump over to now another thing I need to figure out. I'm going to bring this over, but you guys can't see it. So I'm going to go to Daily Davinci, and now it's going to be mirroring it on top. You can see chat over there on the right-hand corner. You see the camera right there. So one thing I don't like is every time I exit OBS, this all defaults back to the way I don't like it. I like my controls to be about right there. I need my scene transitions to be about right there. I need my audio mixer to be about right there. And I would like this to be about right there. I'd like to have intro, new camera, main, zoom, and Daily Davinci. John says he's a good fill-in when, yeah. Let me see if this is going to come up in front of me. It does not. That does not. So this is what John is talking about right here. Now I'm going to go in and bring this into Davinci. That is so eerily scary that, man, that looks exactly like. In fact, I was on a Zoom call with someone, and when I brought that up, and when I exclaimed what I exclaimed, they're like, "What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong?" And nothing was wrong. I had just seen that picture that looks exactly like me. Shorter hair, and obviously the guy didn't dye it or whatever. So anyway, there is OneFist26 joining us in chat. Hello, OneFist26. I don't know if I can use your real name or not. So earlier today we watched it. I figured out how to group the cameras, and we can turn those on and off. Now, if I turn that off, can I turn that on from here? No, it's got to be active. There's no camera. So this has to be active. If I turn that off, it's inactive. And then if I switch over to there, that's a horrible shot. And then obviously I don't think this is running. Well, I guess it is running. I didn't think it was. I'm not sure where that down arrow is coming from. Oh, it's coming from the 35 millimeters, actually seeing this screen over here to my left. So I'm going to go back to this one, and I'm going to close that one. So this is good. This is a good thing that I can group this stuff. I didn't really think I could. I figured that out on part one. That was pretty cool. Now, the problem now is if I go to Davinci, I can't see chat any longer. This is where it would be nice to have. Now, what I could do, I guess, is I could move this over to another monitor, and then I have the ability to see what I'm working on. Okay, well, this is going to be a little bit of Davinci, actually, per the title. So I've got the same image brought up, and I'm going to do just like Doug. You started early today. Yeah, a minute or two. I mean, not the long 5-minute thing that Doug did. So I've got him up here twice, and I'm going to call this one. I'm going to go into titles, and I'm going to grab a text title and put it right there. And I'll drag another text title and put it right there. I could have done that a different way. I could have pressed Alt and drag it over there. It's the same thing. So this one, we're going to call this one Fusion Mask. And we're going to turn on Fusion Overlay so that I can grab this and get it up out of the way and put it right there. Turn the Fusion Overlay off, change the color, and we'll just go into some weird looking color. Or you know what? I wonder, let me cancel that. Can I grab the picker? And no. Can I change the color? Now can I grab the picker? No. That's interesting. Nope, I can't grab the picker. That's terrible. I don't see the picker in here, so I'm just going to go grab me a color. That looks good for now, and do that. And then this one is going to be called the not fusion. Actually, it's the color page mask. And again, we'll turn fusion on and move it up, or you can turn fusion off and turn on the transform, which is the same thing. I just prefer to use fusion. With this one, however, if I wanted to reduce it, I grab a corner, I can reduce it, and then I can move it where I want. Or I can bring it back out like this and put it where I want. They're pretty cool, short little cut tools to know and to learn and to have at your disposal. Whereas if I go into fusion overlay, the only thing I can do is move this and rotate it and all of that. So Control Z should put it back, put it right there. That's cool. This isn't anything special. This is just me messing around. America Trucker's Wife, hello. I watched your short video earlier today, and I got it. Summertime is here. And now that summertime is here, there's flowers to be tended to, gardens to be tended to, grass to be cut. There's a lot to be done. And I play a lot of golf. A couple weeks ago, I played 5 out of 7 days. So I apologize. I do try to catch you whenever I can. I thoroughly enjoy all of your support. And I need to get with you. If you were to send me, I don't think I have my email on this. Oh, maybe I do. Oh, maybe I don't. Yes, I do. So bring this over real quick. If you were to send me an email to this address, please, kstoutzz00m@gmail.com. Just say hi. There's a couple things I'd like to go over with you that I don't want to talk about over the internet itself. So I'm going to turn the camera back on. I'm going to turn the email off. And then I'm going to move this out of the way and go back to the daily Davinci things I got going on. So first, let's go into Fusion. Well, I want to work with this. I'm going to open it in the Fusion page. And I have my picture. So I'm going to mask this out. There are 7 different ways to mask this out. And I'm not saying that to be funny or anything. You can come up here to this area right here and mask this out. Why is that? That was interesting. Okay. Oh, because I'm in Fusion. Never mind. I won't do that. I know why that's doing it. So you can come between these 2 bars right here. These are all mask. If I click on this highlighted and I click on this mask, I get that. Let's just put that over there out of the way. If I click on this, if this is highlighted and I click that, I get that. We'll put that over out of the way. You get the idea. If I highlight this and I click on this one, then you can come in here and do this, and you get that. You get that out of the way. Disconnect it. Or if you highlight this and you come to this one, I think this one's basically the same thing. It's just a little bit more defined than the other one, and you get that. And you can grab the points and move them around where you want. And it's a mask. You're telling it, I want at this point in time for you to be masking and showing only what the mask has in it. And we're going to get that one out of the way too. I primarily use the rectangle right here, as well as the ellipse right here. I use this one quite a lot. Okay. I off click on the one, if this is highlighted, it's going to show up. I off click on that, and I use this one a lot. And the other one I use a lot is I use this one right here a lot, because I can go in there and set my points where I want them to be. Okay, you can add curves in here. There's just a lot you can do with it. This is roboscopy, not roboform, not roboform, whatever it is, the password manager that I have. All right, so we're going to get rid of all these. That's one way of doing it. With the media highlighted, I'm going to hit Shift Spacebar, bring up my menu, and I'm going to type in the word magic to get the magic mask. With this highlighted, when I had add, that's going to put the magic mask in the pipeline, and I can now use it. However, I'm going to need a mask. This does not, well, yeah, I think it does. Let's not deal with that right now. So with the magic mask highlighted, I'm going to go up here to the stroke mode, add, subtract, and select. I'm going to subtract. I want to subtract my wife. Oh, didn't want that. So let's trash can that. That didn't work. Try that again. That didn't work. Control Z is your friend. Let's go add. I just want my grandson. So I'm going to draw me a squiggly little line over my grandson. You do not have to be as thorough as this. You can draw a line straight down the middle, and that's pretty doggone good. Now if I Control Z that out and draw a line straight down the middle, that's about the same mask. Maybe missing his hand here, so we'll grab that, and possibly the truck right there, so we'll grab that. That's pretty good. The bad thing is I see my granddaughter's hair right here. So I go to subtract, and I want to try to get that hair out right there. Well, that's pretty good, except now by putting that line in, I took a little bit of, somehow it took a little bit of that away. So I'm going to Control Z that. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to take that back out. So I'm going to get rid of that. Oops, that's too much. Just put this right there. There we go. Now I'm going to go back to more subtract, and I'm just going to click on that dot. This is going to be fun. Right there. Okay. No, I don't want that. Now I could bring this up by holding down the Alt key or the Control key and the mouse. So it is his ear. So I want to grab add, and I want to just put a line through here. There we go. Now we're looking good. Now I want to subtract a little bit of this right here. That looks pretty good. I'm good with that. So 4 little lines, to add, to subtract. Now you have to track this out in order for this to work. If we go back to the edit page, it's there. But I got a feeling if I move it there, oh, and move it there, oh, it is actually right. Well, let's just play it. I didn't get it. But that's okay. I can deal with this. I'm going to go back to Fusion. And they are all gone. Well, that's cool. I can live with that. Control, bring it back, bring it up. I want to add again, just straight down. Gets my grandson, get his ear. Go get rid of the ones we want to get rid of, which is my granddaughter's hair right here, and a little bit of that right there. I want to go back to add. I would like his hand and the truck. All right, now we're good. Now I'm going to track this out. I'm at the middle of my clip, or actually I'm at frame 204. I'm going to trim this out, or track this forward and then backwards. Now this might take a minute. Actually, that was pretty doggone quick. That looks like it already got the forward one done. And I'll know in a minute. Because if that stops when it gets to that point right there, then it already did get the forward one done. Sometimes my system does what it should, and sometimes my system don't do what it should. So the forward track seemed to be pretty quick, unless it didn't forward track, unless it actually went back to the beginning. What it's supposed to do is track forward, and then come back to the start, and then track it backwards. And you'll see why I'm tracking this out. I also want to give a shout out to one of my subscribers. Hello, Darren. Good to see Darren in chat. I want to give a shout out to a subscriber who reminded me while I was on the Zoom that you only get 3 notifications a day on YouTube. So I uploaded 3 shorts, and this is my second live video. Now, I don't know for sure, but I think the notifications are only for uploads and live streams. And since this is a live stream, we are good, I hope. If not, everybody knows I stream at 10 o'clock at night anyway. So thank you, Jeff. Jeff Ryman joins us from Las Vegas. The first, the last, the only. He's running a Monopoly out there, by the way. So that actually went back to the back. I didn't do what it was supposed to, but that's fine. Now, I could clean this up a little bit, but I'm good with this. This is going to be perfect, and I do intend to use this. I'm combining a couple birds with one stone here. I am actually going to put this into production and into use, or more use than production, because it's a still, and you can't really do a lot with the still. Well, you can do a lot with the still, but you know what I'm saying. It's getting there, rather slowly but surely. I'm your last hope, and stop calling me Shirley. That was a joke on the after stream Zoom homies last night as well. Which, if you want to join me and the Zoom homies, or join the Zoom homies and me, or an I, if you want to get technical, send an email to kstoutzz00m@gmail.com. Request the credentials. If I know who you are, you get the credentials straight away. If I don't know who you are, we will have a conversation, and 9 out of 10 times you'll get the credentials. I don't think I've turned down but one person. I'm pretty sure I've only turned down one. Okay, this is about done. Got about 50 frames to go to frame 400. And you can see that in the lower right hand corner of your screen. You can see the red bar ticking away. You can also see the 407. Well, no, you can't see the 407 because the camera's in the way. So if I turn the camera off, now you can see the 407 going in the lower right hand corner because there's no camera. This is so cool that I grouped those cameras. I tell you what, I'm so happy that I figured it out. And I figured it out on my own just by experimentation. What happens if we do this? Oh, cool. John Williams live. You will get a picture of his twin. Ha ha. Yeah, I plan on using that as well, John. I've got to give it a little bit of thought, though, on the very slim outside chance. Well, that did do what it's supposed to do. It actually tracked it forward from the beginning. Now it's tracking it backwards. I didn't move it, but we'll see what happens. I mean, if this doesn't work, I will go in and do it the way that I'm going to probably end up doing it anyway. I just wanted to demonstrate the many, many ways that you can actually mask things out. And the uses with things you mask out is unlimited. It's done. Okay, so now we'll go back to the page over here, and that's all we have. No matter where we move this playhead, because it's tracked out, it's always going to be there. Now, I know some of you can see the discrepancies that I can see, so we're going to grab these and move them up. That's real easy to get rid of. We're going to go into the effects. We're going to go to generators. We're going to grab a solid color background. We're going to put it in there, and then we're going to change this to whatever color we'd like. And let's go with, well, we can pretend like he's behind a green screen, but we know he's not. He's actually there. We'll put it right there, and we'll use that for demonstrative purposes and demonstrative purposes only. So that looks pretty good. I'm really happy with that. That is using the fusion mask. And I guess I could come in here and put /magic mask, because that's what I used. All right, I'm going to turn fusion off over here so that's not confusing. It's a static picture, so when I hit play, all it's going to do is it's going to sit there like that. Now, I do also believe, and I'll just cover this very quickly, I do also believe, because I tracked that out, I should be able to come in here and let's just do a real quick zoom him. Doggone it. Zoom him out, put a keyframe, go to halfway through this, which is about 7.5 seconds. Zooming back in. It automatically puts the keyframe. Super good from the Pro version. I love it. I don't know if that works in the free version or not. I need to get with Rick Lakes to verify that. And I'm going to go ahead and go all the way out to the end. And we're going to bring him up to full size right there, which is actually too big. We're going to go back to the beginning. We're going to hit play and get a little dot coming in, a little bigger dot. So yes, because I masked it out, tracked it out, I can manipulate this and do anything I want. All right, pretty cool. Now that's going to continue to go because there's something out there for it to find. So let's do one more thing with the magic mask thing that we just did right here. Let's go ahead and move this up again. Let's move this up and let's make a copy by holding Alt and bringing this up to here. Let's turn this video track off. Let's hit play. And because it's an exact, oh, look at that. Now, if any of you thought that was going to happen, hello, Chris Garrett in chat. Good to see you. If any of you thought that that was actually going to do that, let me know in the comments or let me know in chat. I could have told you that wasn't going to work. It never does work because you're making a copy of the original and not the one that you've masked out. One drawback to it that I don't like. But there is a way to get around that. I could actually go in there and save this. And as a preset, I do believe, and then it'll be up here available. Bring the preset in, and it should be the same thing. Not a big loss. We're going to get rid of it. Bring this back down. We're going to go work with the color page mask now. And yes, I realize color page is off center, but it is what it is. One thing I wanted to point out, I'm pretty sure if I click Fusion right here, I get what's known as a template because it's actually seeing the whole thing, I believe. Yeah, it's seeing the text. So I don't want that. I want to go back over here. I want to highlight. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, it sees this because that's highlighted. Even though the playhead was over here, if we highlight that, go back there, still going to see the template. Don't want that. So I'm going to highlight this, go into here, and it still sees the template. So to avoid that problem, right click, open in Fusion, and then you get your that if you're using Fusion. Okay, but I don't want to use Fusion. I just wanted to point that out. So we're going to go back to here. We are going to highlight this. We're going to go to the color tab. There is the whole thing, which is fine. I don't necessarily lose sleep over the fact that the color page mask is in there. This is simple. One thing you want to do is add an alpha output so that when you do your masking, it will mask it out. If you do not add this, for example, if I just grab me an ellipse real quick and I mask this out and I show the area, oh, wrong button. It's not what I want. That's color. That's clearly not what I want. I want that to go away. So let's Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. That's back to that. I want this one. I don't remember which one it is. There's a button you can click on. It'll show you what you're masking out. But I can mask this out. Is if I don't connect it to an alpha output, it's not going to mask it out. Once I connect that, then it mask it out. I've got it inverted. This is what I want. Okay. Now, for some reason, it's still grabbing this up here. To solve that problem, I can come over here. I just simply move this out of my way, highlight that, go back to the color tab, and now we're working strictly with what we had and this image. This image also too has magic mask, and it's the same exact principle. You have add, and you have subtract, and you have subtract and subtract. Now you're saying, oh, what's going on? Don't see it. No alpha output. Right click, alpha output, and when I connect that, this is going to be a travesty and a mess. And there it is. So if I add, let's go back to add, and let's just add that blanket in, and then let's go into subtract and do this. Oh, that's too much. So the nice thing about doing it in here is stroke number 6 was the last stroke I did. You can delete each individual stroke that you've made. So I want to add in here, and I want to go ahead and just add in a little bit there. And you can fine tune this. You can get this down to whatever you want. I want to just get a little bit of her arm. And that's cool for now. But then I don't, whatever I added over here got that. So I want to get rid of that. And that got rid of some of the couch, but that's fine. So that's it. I do use this from time to time. You can do an object mask or a person mask. So let's delete, those were all done with object mask. Let's click on person mask and go to the add, and we'll do the same thing. We'll just put it on my wife right here. Looks a little cleaner, looks a little crisper. And then we'll go see if we can maybe take away this little edge right there. Yeah, you used to be able, you could move these. Apparently you can no longer do that. You used to be able to move them and it would actually mask out what you're trying to mask out or mask in. I'm going to add that. I'm going to add a little bit right there, a little bit more right there. But then I get something down here. So I want to get rid of that. Same principle, you have to track it out. If you don't track it out, it's not going to work. So I don't intend on using this one, so I'm not going to track it out. What I want to do next is I want to get rid of all these. I guess this is a day for me and experimentation. You can come in here and you can copy this node. I believe it's Alt S, and it creates an exact copy of this. Okay. Now, why did I do that? If I come into here and let's just say I use the window and I mask out my son, my grandson, my son, and we bring this in here like this, and we get that right there, and that looks pretty good. I like that. Well, again, I can take this out to here and I get that. But apparently it's inverted for some reason, so let's re-invert it. Okay, oh, I know why. Because if I take this out, then put this down here, oh, still get the same thing. I haven't practiced, I have no idea. I really have no clue what I'm doing. So if I go there and out there, if I take the alpha out and put it in the alpha in, and then take the alpha out and put it, or alpha out here and put it in the alpha in there, then we get that. And again, it is inverted, and I don't know why it's inverted. It should not be inverted. If I come over here, that's exactly what it's going to be. Okay, interesting. Control Z, 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 Control Z. And now, if I mask that out, take the alpha to the alpha, I still get that. Why is that doing that? It's still, unless some of this was left behind, which it's not. There's nothing over here in the mask. That should not be doing that. Well, okay. Wow, that magic mask is still somehow connected, and I see the dot. Oh, you know what? What if I highlight it? Oh, that's why. What if I delete all this crap stuff, and then come over here, with this dot, if I hit backspace, does that make it go away? It does not. So this is active. I want this one right here. I want that there. I want the feather tool, and we're just going to go around it real hastily. And then we're going to connect the alpha out. And I get that. I do believe that's because this one is still somewhat active. I really do believe that's because this is still active somehow. And it should not be active. So how am I going to fix that? Well, I'm going to fix it by... Wow, that's from the original one maybe. Let's get rid of all that. I sure hope that isn't affecting that mask right there. I mean, it shouldn't because it's totally different. But I didn't make a copy of this. I actually dragged it over, clipped and dragged it over. But apparently this is still seeing in there. There ought to be a way to, I've said this for a while too, there ought to be a way to turn that off. Right click doesn't work. That doesn't work. And still nothing there. So I get to a point of frustration, and all I do is I come over here, I delete this, I come up to the media pool, I grab it again, I bring it down, I close the media pool, I go back into the color tab, and then put my alpha output and go like that. So now if I come in here and grab this, it does what it should. It's going to mask out wherever you tell it to mask out. Whatever you want it to do, that's what it's going to do. We're just going to make this a little ellipse right there like that. Come back to here, and we are good. This should be good throughout the whole thing because it wasn't done with the magic mask. That's in the color tab. Now, what do I do if I want to... Man, that looks terrible. Why does that look like that? Is it due to tracking? Okay, that's weird. What do I do if I want to get me a still? Well, what I used to do is I would render this out. I would render this out and have the black background, which I'm still going to have that anyway. But if I go into the color tab, and I've showed this a million times, right click, grab a still, right click, export, and put it wherever you want. I want this to be in Davinci. I want it to be in thumbnails. I want it to be in, let's see here. I've got this alphabetically. It's alphabetically. I've also got a year going here, and I'm bouncing back and forth in the two of them on where I put stuff. Or for now, I'm just going to put it, I'm just going to put it down here, and I'm going to put this as Maddie JPEG, and it's just going to go there, and we'll verify that by going back to the edit tab, go into the media pool, go into media, we're going to go to Davinci, go down to thumbnails, and there it is right there. So that is perfect. Hello again, Alice. Good to see Alice here for part 2. And I can click on it, bring it down here, and then get this one out of the way. Put this one right there so it doesn't interfere with that. Because if I put this over here, well, that should have interfered with it, but that's fine. Close the media pool. Bring that back over there. Can I change his size? Sure I can. Can I move him? Sure I can. This is the advantage to not using the magic mask. You don't have to track it. You can move it where you want. You can have it resize it to where you want. And because this I saved as a still, and this was the original one I did, then they're identical. Now I do believe, I'm going to really test my gray matter here. I do believe if I grab the original picture and put it underneath, no, that's not going to work. And then grab this, turn on the fusion to bring this down here. Yeah, there we go. Turn off the fusion so we're not confused. And then we're going to take this picture and we're going to put it back to normal size. And we're just going to move him up out of the way a little bit. And I'm going to do some cropping. And I'm going to crop the right so that we get that right there. Go back to the position a little bit. And now it appears that, now why is that one masked out? I grabbed the original one. That shouldn't be masked. That should not be masked. That should be everybody. That should not, unless that's not everybody. Okay, did I get the right one? You know what? I'm curious. Now, where did I put that picture originally of my grandson? Well, let's say your name is Ken Stout and you're like me and you can't remember where you did something. Go look at the right click, open file location, and it pops up on another screen. And this is in another, I was close. So we're going to right click, import, go to Davinci, go to data, go to 2024, go to June. There it is. I'm going to bring this picture in. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to bring this picture in and put it right there. And theoretically, that should not happen because that's not the way this is supposed to work. That is still showing, that's what it's supposed to look like. That right there is what it's supposed to look like. And then that's going to, oh, because that's mashed out. Ah, okay. So let's put Maddie right there. Let's change this to, I'll change that. Let's go to a title. Let's grab a text plus title, put it in here. Let's go grab this by copying it and then coming into here and pasting it in here. And then let's change the color by going into this one, opening the color tab, copying and pasting this, going back to this one, open the color tab, pasting it in, and now we are good. Now, I do believe if I put this down here, I just want to get that out of my way, get these completely out of my way. Now, I want to make this to where, number one, this is cropped a little bit better than it is, and that's fine. But I want that to be in the background. Let's see, John Williams, hello AJ, okay. I do this a million times, so I just don't understand why it's not working. So now that's going to be in there. Do this kind of down and dirty real quick. Going to highlight that. I'm going to use a, what am I going to use? I'm going to use this one. And I'm just going to go here. Actually, I'm doing this wrong. There. That's not what I want. So I'm going to Control Z. Matter of fact, I ain't even Control Z that. I'm going to backspace it to get rid of it. I want everything in this picture but my grandson, because the original picture has my grandson. So I want my grandson masked out, I believe. And again, I'm doing this on the fly, so bear with me. And does anybody know what time I started? Just somebody look at the start time and let me know so I can wrap this up. I don't want this to be a 35 plus years experience of, you know what I'm saying. So I'm going to go back into here. I'm going to mask out my grandson. Magic mask. I'm going to add it. I'm going to come into here. I'm going to remove my grandson. But before I do that, I'm going to go to the beginning. I'm going to remove my grandson. And that's not what I want. Or is it? "40 minutes. Thank you, Darren. Fusion. I want my grandson to be gone. I don't want him. Well, that should have. All right. If I add him, that's what I. Okay, so let's do this. Let's add that. 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 And let's add across there. And then let's add a little bit right here. No, I don't want that one, so we're going to delete that. We're going to subtract now. Hopefully we're going to subtract out my grandson. That's the plan anyway. Almost. Let's get rid of that. Okay, I can't do that because this line right here is, now maybe if I hit select, I can select this line. No, I cannot select that line. I didn't know what select was. So, it gets too much of his hair, but I just want my granddaughter right there. All right, I'm not going to track this out. I'm just going to come back over here, and that pretty much, if I track it out, that's going to put the text behind him. That's what I want, but I'm not going to track it out. You guys get the idea of masking. You get the idea between the, when you use the color page mask as opposed to the magic mask in Fusion. I do a lot of stuff in Fusion. I want to learn the color tab so bad. I really just want to get in here, come in here into the color tab. I actually watched a video a while back where a guy took this and he says, we're going to make 35 nodes. And then he said, and we're going to do a different function in each node. Well, let me tell you, I tried this with not this many nodes and I couldn't get nothing to work, not a thing. Color tab is so powerful. There's so many things you can do in there. There's just so much. And all you got to do is think of it. You take your original picture, you manipulate it somehow, you send it to the next one, you manipulate that and send it to the next one, and so on and so on and so on and so on until you get down to the last one. If we disconnect that, well, it should have not showed up, but that's fine that it did. If I come in here to, let's say I want to work with this one and I want to open up the color tab, and I'm going to just make this ridiculously. Let's do it down here. That's not working either. Clearly, you see, I know what I'm doing. I'm an expert at this. AJ absolutely keeps the house cool. Yeah, our air conditioner's got to go on real shortly here. So, is it the HDR I want? One of these I can absolutely change the way this looks. And that was the thing the guy was pointing out, is he literally went in there and he made the foot bright, he made the jeans lessened. Unless, let me try something silly here. What if I add an alpha node? What if I connect the alpha node to the alpha node out here? I can't do that. So I guess I got to connect that to that, and then this to this. Okay, now if I come in here and do something to this one, does it change anything? Oh yeah, that got darker. I see that. I see that that does get darker. If I move that up, it looks to be darker. And then if I move this, but I need to do this offline and just really mess around with it and see what I can get to work. And because clearly this is not working. What if I wanted to blur something? I'm going to put a blur box in there. And then I'm going to blur this out. Nope. Oh, this is working so good. Number of iterations. And then let's keep this the same. That's not blurring anything out. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. This has been fun. I've accomplished what I wanted to, in that you get to see how, wow, really? Where did that go? There we go. Good Lord, why is that over there? This is what I want. Just took it. Oh, the other thing, real quick. Playback, render cache, smart cache. You see the red lines appear. That's because it's rendering out the text and the text only. This is already rendered out. But you can see when it turns blue, it's rendered out. So as we scrub through here, we have that. Like that. And if I wanted to take the time, I could duplicate him so many times. I've actually done that with many Kens. So I'm going to bring this back over here for a moment so I can scrub through chat. 40 minutes, that's probably been about 5-10 minutes ago. 88 degrees. We were 83 with a high of 86. Next week, the air conditioning will go on. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate that this is all very helpful. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy getting on here and just experimenting. I don't want this to sound like it's going to, but there's a lot that I know I can do with my eyes closed, and there's a lot I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. And there's a lot I want to learn. I want to learn the color tab. I want to learn color grading. I want to learn masking in the color tab, where when you have what I thought would be 35 things open, should have went with 18, huh? Maybe if I put that over there. There we go. I want to learn when I have 35 things open, I can do something in this one and affect it. I can do something in the next one totally different and affect it, etc., etc., etc. Now see, oh, the blur box was on. So if I turn the blur box on, that goes away. Maybe we need to turn the blur box down. Ah, look, I'm learning something. Or turn the iterations down. Change the border type to replicate. No, that's not working. All right, I am going to end it. I'm going to press the Doug button and get out of here. I will see most of you this evening, 10 o'clock Indiana time, for the 30 minutes of the Ken Stout Live with the Zoom Homies, with Ken Stout Live. I want to thank, in any one particular order, Darren Gilholm, John Williams, OneFish26, Jeff Ryman, American Trucker's Wife. Really good to see her. I really enjoy some of the people I support show up to support me, even if they don't stick around. And I do have an announcement tonight on tonight's show that may or may not go over very well. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's either going to be good or it's going to be bad. Who knows? John Williams was there. Chris Garrett was there. Thank you, Chris. Alice was there. Thank you, Alice. I say, boy. I think I got everybody. Hey, Alice says, I want to learn. I just don't know about this software. Until get the free version, Alice, DaVinci Resolve Blackmagic Design. Download the free version, mess around with it, tinker around with it. And you know, as much as I hate to say it, you will find before too awfully long that you will come in here and you will have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Did I say hundreds? And hundreds and hundreds of projects. And you will find this is a copy of my first one I ever did. Thanks to Jim, KJ3NJ or KJ35, whatever, Jim from YouTube. Thanks to him and speed ramping and fast forwarding, this is the first one I ever did. Then learning DaVinci and then just different things I've done over the years, and some of them good, some of them bad, but I like doing it. I enjoy doing it. It's fun. That along with OBS, it's fun. I know someone in the background saying, "Shut up, Ken." What was that, babe?
Shut up, Ken.
There you go. I don't know if you heard her say it or not, but she did say, "Shut up, Ken." Bye, everybody. Wait, time out. Back the card up a little bit. Let's stop the car. I happen to know in the Asian world, when you say the word shut up, they take it as offensive. Now, we as in the American world, for the most part, we don't take that as offensive. Maybe by the tone and the context it can be, but we all grew up with that. The Asian world would like you to say, "Be quiet. Please be quiet." Shh.